there is an officer-involved shooting case that I voted was out of policy at the Force Review Board because the case is officers are called to meet a woman. Her son is at the home. She fears for his safety because he's been violent in the past, has been armed in the past, and so she exits the home with the help of a sister. When officers meet the complainant away from the home, and they're interviewing her, and the subject drives by.
So it's 23-16-23?
I believe it's actually 17-8, but I don't know I'm not sure about which case it is particularly because I can't pull them up. So the officers attempt a traffic stop. It refuses to stop. The officers never get an authorization for a pursuit, and one officer is behind the vehicle in a shopping mall. The officer believes that he sees the driver of the vehicle focus his eyes on him through the rearview mirror, pull up a shotgun and point it at the officer. The officer has his AR-15 already on the dashboard pointed toward the vehicle, and he fires through the front windshield of his vehicle toward the vehicle in front of him, where he says he observed this weapon pointed at him.
So the officer was in his car too?
Yes. He fires through.
So that's not the officer that's talking to the mother?
No, this is after this is after the unauthorized pursuit while they're following the vehicle. The round strikes the sunroof of the vehicle. A woman who's a passenger in the vehicle subsequently exits the vehicle, and a pursuit continues now that there has been a shot fired. It is never clarified while this is going on who fired. The officer never informs the other department personnel that he's the one that discharged his weapon. They subsequently stop the vehicle, and the subject is arrested. There are no more shots fired in this incident. My problems with the case are that there was no authorized pursuit. I believe that there was a pursuit. That pursuit would be out of policy, because at the point when they start to follow the vehicle, all they have is a suspect who's at a house where the mother's fearful. He has been armed in the past, but there's no confirmation that he's armed, and there's no confirmation of what crime has occurred for while they're following this vehicle. At this point, there isn't really probable cause for an arrest. And then this, I'm troubled by the officer's account of what he observed before he fired the weapon.
Did you say an AR-15?
Mm-hmm.
So is that something you just carry around in your car,
Mm-hmm.
like inside the car?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Because I've been in those ride-alongs, I don't see it. Where is it? Is it right between the seats?
Some of them will have them in the car, some of them will have them in the trunk, but,
That's what I've seen is the trunk.
I'm sorry?
That's what I've seen is the trunk.
And, you know, I don't know if he stopped and got it out and when he began to pursue, but he has it trained on his dashboard while he's driving behind this vehicle.
Is that impossible? Is that something it doesn't sound very safe, or, and this is while he's driving through a mall parking lot?
Yes.
So how would you phrase your assessment of him doing the AR-15 out the window? Is that out of policy?
Well, when you read the interviews of the subject who was fired upon, the guy who was driving the vehicle, the son in this case, and the passenger who was his girlfriend, they say that yes, he pulls the gun up, but they both believe that he actually has it pointed up and that he's the one that breaks the sunroof when actually the shot came from behind. And so I'm having trouble with the accounting of the officer that he was staring down the barrel of a gun when you have somebody driving this way to physically pull up, and a gun is found in the vehicle. It's there.
But it's
and it's a modified shotgun with a smaller handle. How that gets turned and pointed so that the officer's staring down the barrel, I think that is hard for me to imagine happening. And the interviews in the the interviews are in the Garrity materials that, oh no, they're not in the Garrity materials. The interviews don't really press the officer on how it's possible to do that.
And he has no video camera, there's no other witnesses?
No.
No dashboard cam?
No
right?
dashboard cam?
No.
And where were those things? What were they?
It happened too quickly for it to be recorded for the officer that.
How long was the pursuit?
But, yeah, no, that would be my question. On a pursuit, you would think he would have a dash, at least a dash.
Well, there are no dash cams. There's not, that's not.
ABQ has very, very, very.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably thinking of the state police and those
Yeah.
guys, yeah. Okay.
No, ABQ has like maybe 10.
All right.
That's all.
So the policeman is saying that he shot the bullet that went through the boy's sunroof?
Right,
And the
that's
boy and the girl are saying they discharged a weapon and they shot it themselves?
Right, but the physical evidence doesn't show that the weapon inside the suspect's vehicle was discharged.
Ever shot.
Because it had a bullet that had tape around it so that it would fit in the muzzle of a shotgun, which this was actually a shotgun. So it was an adapted round that was in there, and it was not fired.
So we have what appears to you to be an officer's making stories up to justify that he discharged his weapon.
I think that the interviews are detailed enough to draw that full conclusion. It's just, I think it's a stretch for the officer to give such detailed information for something that physically would be hard to accomplish.
Okay, so you don't agree with their investigation? The
I
results
think
of their
they-
investigation?
Well, the Force Review Board found it out of policy as it relates to, because of the pursuit. So I think that there needs to be an internal investigation.
I agree.
And it could well be that this is the, well, I have to go back and look at what the Force Review Board notes are. I will contact Samantha and find out why the link to those cases are dead. It was supposed to be good until April.
Yeah, April 15th. So that's one of the ones, like we did at the last board meeting, we would send back to the chief, a letter to the chief saying,
Right.
we don't think this is a complete investigation.
Right.